So, okay, selfish question. I think this is a good way to end this podcast. Here it is. It is October 6th. We are looking at, at least in Ohio, 10 days of warm weather. But what would be your, maybe this is a good two-parter. I'll answer it and then you answer it first, and then I'll give my 2 cents. But October 5th through the 20th, this middle part of October, what would you say would be key to getting it done, especially on public land here in the Buckeye State?
So I think the important thing right now is to be as close to those areas that you guys scouted for bedding as possible. You're not going to get, especially with this warmer weather, you're not going to get a lot of movement. I would say you're going to want to be within a couple 100 yards of these prime bedding areas. And maybe you're not directly on a food source, like a primary or secondary food source, but maybe it's on the way to that food source. I'd really push the limits and try to get as close as possible. And then, obviously we get out of this time frame the next 10 to 15 days, and it's like scrape weeks, totally different. And that's when you really start getting into those deer moving a lot, and that's when it's a lot of fun. But yeah, the next 15 days, 10 days, I would be really pushing that proximity to bedding.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of that is my tactic. But I think I will spend a decent amount of time with the warmer conditions scouting, kind of preparing myself. I've never killed a buck in the middle part of October. The earliest is the 20th for myself, so I'm not going to sit here and preach, but my big thing that I think I've done successfully to kill deer end of October has been scouting the 10th through the 20th.
Yes.
So preparing for that cold front that drives everyone crazy on Facebook, I think is my biggest tactic. Maybe for a guy that doesn't have the dialed in bed hunting that yourself has, or maybe a guy that doesn't know what's going on in the timber right now. But I think that's my go-to. Jake, I really appreciate you coming on today and laying down a great podcast and somebody, that got it done here early season. And we're excited to see where your season goes from here.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on, man. And good luck. I'll be right there following along.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Jake's been giving me his thoughts and input on a buck I'm chasing. And so it should be interesting. So
it'll happen.